Hey, I hope everybody had a good weekend. It was a good weekend for the stud stable. Let's talk about the game this weekend, and then we'll talk about next week's matchup, and I'll take some of your questions. Woo! That was a nail biter. Very close game. My hat's off to Big Chief Wahoo, who put a great lineup together. He had some guys who had monster games for him. Janikowski had a tremendous game on Monday Night Football, and I was very fortunate to win by 3 points. I know that how we performed this week would not have stacked up very well against some of the other teams in the league, but here's something about all the other teams in the league, all right? They're all going to have their press conferences this week. They're all going to cut promos. Some of them will cut a promo with a high-powered rifle and a beer can in the shot. Some of them will cut a promo with a bookshelf in the back. Some of them will cut a promo with an entourage. Some of them will cut a promo with their really nice sunglasses on. Some of them will cut a promo with their Walmart championship belt, and I've done that too. But the one difference between me and all those other teams this week, and really for the rest of the season, is when I cut a promo, when I give a press conference, I do it with a real trophy. I do it with the championship trophy. And until somebody beats me, and until somebody else goes to the finals and they win this league, I'm the champion. And so they can say all they want, but all I can say is scoreboard. So I'm not playing the rest of the league this week. I'm playing Jam Loves the WNBA. Now this is a grudge match, because 1 year ago, when this team was known as the Eric Estradas, they beat me in week 1. And that was the only loss I suffered last season. So there is a little bit of a revenge factor. There is a little bit of an edge that we're trying to do everything we can. Now going into this week, we've got to make some lineup changes. I know 96 points is not going to cut it. You've got to be scoring anywhere from 110 to 125 points to really be successful. So we're looking at our lineup. We're going to be, making some changes. We've already made some moves this morning. Jan Loves the NBA has a great lineup. I think we all kind of ridiculed him when he picked Aaron Rodgers with the first pick, and Aaron Rodgers performed tremendously. His team was so good last week that he started a kicker who was hurt and didn't play, and still scored 133 points. That's pretty strong. I mean, they've got Aaron Rodgers, Greg Jennings, Wes Welker, Javad Best, Reggie Bush, Antonio Gates, Felix Jones. Hartley was his kicker who's out, and Oakland. And he had some guys really step up for him. Reggie Bush. I don't know how he's going to hold up over a whole season, but he played pretty good on Monday Night Football last night. And some of that may be due to the fact that the guy on my team, Daniels, was out with an injury. So, there's a lot to do. So, are there any questions that anybody has this morning? Okay, right here.
Yeah, at what point did you decide to start Tony Romo over Kevin Cobb?
Okay. Tony Romo did enough to lead us to a victory this week. Kevin Cobb had a tremendous week. And up until even Saturday night, debating, who to start. Simply because of the fact that Romo was facing the Jets defense. And, he did throw the interception that cost him the game. Didn't cost me the game, cost the Cowboys the game. Tony Romo's downing himself this week. I'm like, Tony Romo, don't be downing yourself. You led the stud stable to a victory. And that's a lot more significant than anything you'll ever do on the field for the Dallas Cowboys. So, we're going to look at that, monitor that, and just We'll see. I think Romo was hurt last year. I think he has a ton to prove. I think for 3 quarters Sunday night, he played really good football. And, we'll just have to see about that going forward. Right here.
How concerned are you about the tight end play?
Here's the thing about Owen Daniels. At the point in the draft when I selected Owen Daniels, I had gotten booted off the internet. When I logged back in, the auto pick had selected Owen Daniels. Now, I want to say this. If I were going to pick a tight end, Owen Daniels is on my list. But I normally, as you guys know, I normally don't draft a tight end that early. I was very disappointed that in a blowout game, I know they ran the ball a lot, but, he's got to do better. I mean, 1 point, 1.2 points, something like that, he's got to do a lot better. We've got to get at least 6 to 9 points out of that tight end position every single week. And I believe he's got the ability to step up and do that. And so, we're going to stay with him until he gets injured or something. He'll be our tight end for this foreseeable future. All right, a few more questions. Yes.
Who's going to be your kicker going into week 2?
Kicker is a very interesting position. I don't. You can't fall in love with a kicker. You have to look at the matchups. You have to look at who's available, and that's what we've done. And we've put in a waiver request, and we're hoping we'll get a good, get a better performance out of our kicker in week 2. So we're hoping. All right over here. Last question.
Yes. Cleveland's defense underperformed for you. What are you going to do to address that this week?
Well, here's what happened. We started Cleveland's defense because they were facing Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was going to be starting a rookie quarterback. Here's the thing that we didn't take into consideration is, Cleveland had a pretty strong defense last year, but their defensive coordinator's in Dallas now. You have to take that into consideration. I was very disappointed. However, Dalton got hurt. The backup came in, and so you weren't playing against a rookie quarterback. They were playing against a veteran quarterback. But 4 points for a defense, again, defense is a position you can't put a lot of stake in, but you got to get points out of that position. And so, again, that's something we've already addressed, and we'll find out more about that tomorrow. But, defense is, again, a position you've got to get 7 to 12 points at least out of them to have a shot. I want to say, thank you for everybody being here. I'm really hoping we can, this is a big game for us. Because for us, it's a psychological thing to beat the team that beat you. I mean, nobody else in this league has ever beaten me. None of them. No other team in this league has ever beaten the Stud Stable except for one. And this Sunday, we get our revenge. So thank you guys for being here. Hope you have a great week.